Testing. Alright. We're online. I clicked stop. YouTube. We are working on the Twitch side, it looks like. It should be loading. Hopefully. Go out here and double check real quick. See how we're looking. Okay, yeah, it looks like I'm up, so that's good. That's good. I'm gonna go post this on Facebook. Looks like it might get storm in here in a little bit. That's exciting. Very exciting. I like storms, as long as there's no tornadoes with them. All right. Let's see. Click stop YouTube. All right. So the goal for today, Tyler might join us. Let me see. All right. So, nice job. Thanks for Brazil. Thank you. So what we're going to work on today. This isn't a Thursday, so this is not an Is It a Meta. This is just strictly Silver Age is upon us. Hold on. Someone's already trying to come in. I get them all set up to play a TFT, and they're out of no luck there. All right, so what we're doing today is we are going to go over every legal ID card in Silver Age. We are going to put the best in slot, BIS. We are going to go with 3 different versions, the best over 100 points, the best between 50 and 99, and then 0 to 49. I have an example here already up for Wolverine. Now, obviously, your team might be a little different. Your team might have a better Wolverine or better Cape Pride or whatever, a better option at one of these spots. What we're just saying is just genuinely what is the best in slot for most teams. That's how I feel. Now, I have already gone through and gotten rid of the ones in red are the IDs that are not legal or they have no legal pieces. So US Agent we know is banned in Silver Age. Bucky, there are no legal Bucky Barnes. And I double checked Disney Plus. Both of the Winter Soldiers are called Winter Soldiers. None of them are called Bucky Barnes. There's no Protector, there's no Jocasta, there's no Wonder Man, there's no Machine Man. Believe it or not, there's no Hank Pym. We have a bunch of Ant-Mans, which that's another card on here somewhere. He was one of these Ant-Man. No Hank Pyms. No legal Hank Pyms in the game. Captain America we know is banned. Justice, no Justices. No Jarvis, no Manifold, no Rick Jones, no Triathlon. No Phantom Strangers, surprise, no Swamp Things, who would have thought? No Constantines, no Deadmans, no Vibes, and then obviously Green Lantern is banned. So that is the list of cards we will not be doing because there's no one to build in those spots. Now, this could change, obviously. We've got Disney. Well, we know who's in Disney Plus. None of these people are in Disney Plus. Maybe X of Swords. I don't think so for most of these, because these are all Avengers. But maybe in the DC set we're getting down the road, maybe we'll get a Swamp Thing. Or Swamp Thing would be great since we saw the Scooby-Doo figures. So yeah, we are going to just kind of go through and talk about what we think are the best pieces. Now, I did one, arguably the easiest one, which is Wolverine. Wolverine, there's a ton of Wolverines out there, and a lot of them do the same thing. Now, you could argue, I mean, there's not really anything to argue, and I actually didn't finish Wolverine because he's 50 points. Let's take a look at Wolverine real quick and just go ahead and get into it. So I had put on here that the 100-point Empire.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, it's Tyler.
It is. What are we talking about?
We're just starting. So what we are doing is we are going through and putting the best in slot for each ID card at 100 points, 50 to 99, and 0 to 49. Some of these are going to be real easy because there's like one option. Like Ares, there's like 2 options. And no one's really going to play Ares.
Are you doing, or how do you, what I do is I just go to HC Realms and type in ID and then a dash, and then it pulls up all the IDs.
Yep. And now I have a spreadsheet. I could actually share this spreadsheet with you if you want to look at it. Hold on a second. Nobody look.
I don't think I need it. I can just do it this way.
Well, I've also gone through the list of IDs that have nobody. So the banned IDs and then the ones that just don't have anyone on there. So there's no point.
Gotcha.
So we're not going to spend a ton of time on each one. Now, some of these are going to be real easy. Like I said, Xavier School, most of the student ones are just like, we have a skids. That's it. That's all we got. Some of these we're not going to have any over 100. Some of these we won't have anything at all. Well, I've already got the ones at all. There's certain ones, like Wolverine was the first one, obviously, because he has probably the most options.
Yeah.
Next to maybe like Magneto. Has the most options in the game. And there's really only like 2 options.
Did we confirm that it's now no real names, right?
Okay,
Just
so,
what's on the card.
Good, thank you. So let me clarify some things first. First off, remember, you can only play one ID. Every ID is unique per name.
Yep.
So that means you cannot play 2 Wolverine IDs. You have to decide between the Days of Future Past Wanted poster or the Headmaster ID. You have to choose.
Are there 3 Wolverine cards?
No, he doesn't have a student ID.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, or like the original X-Men. He wasn't ever an original X-Men, so he's only got 2. So there's a little bit of confusion going on out there because the word real names is used in 2 spots, and it's a little confusing. So we know how other identities work with ID cards. Jean Grey, for example, has on her card Jean Grey, and then it also lists like Hound, Phoenix, like a couple of
Marvel Girl.
No, sorry, I was thinking of Rachel Summers. Marvel Girl and Phoenix. So that means you can play this card and play any Jean Grey, any figure named Marvel Girl, or any figure named Phoenix. It does not take the real name that's listed on a card, on the figure card, into the equation at all. It's just literally Marvel Girl, Phoenix, or Jean Grey. Those are the only 3 types.
Gotcha. The other identities still count, but nothing on like the actual character's card.
Right. And so that is the same for the old cards, because the old cards didn't have other identities. They had real names. Mm-hmm. So you could play like a Ant-Man or something that was, or somebody that was Hank Pym, because you had a Ant-Man card that had Hank Pym as a real name, and then the figure had a real name of Hank Pym or something. You know, there's some weird loopholes you could go with that. So to make sure there aren't those weird loopholes, and it's even has it in the rule book, real names on an ID card is the same as other identities. So that means real names on the figure card, like any scarab or whatever, real name means nothing. And it literally does mean nothing in this game. There's nothing in the rulebook that references real name on the cards. What they are talking about in the rules is real names on the ID card. So, for example, if I were to pull up
I'm trying to find one.
Batman, for example, you have Batman, and then you have real name Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. So
We
there's
have
a figure named Bruce Wayne.
There is. We have in Batman animated series, Old Man Bruce is Bruce Wayne. So you could call in that Bruce Wayne because his name is literally Bruce Wayne.
Right. Gotcha.
So real name on ID card should be considered as other identity. So that limits a lot of things.
But like as an example, if you had another random figure whose real name is Bruce Wayne on their card, you can't call that in.
That's a real name. Like the figure name isn't Bruce Wayne. It's like So the best example would be Blue Beetle.
Okay.
Blue Beetle's real name is Jamie Reyes. Jamie Reyes, not Blue Beetle. What am I talking about? Not Blue Beetle. Sorry. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Oh, it's Jamie Reyes. Yeah. Blue Beetle's real name on his ID card, or his other identity is Jamie Reyes. Scarab is Jamie Reyes, and he has real name listed on his figure card as Jamie Reyes. So per old rules, you would be able to call in Scarab. That's a little spooky. That's a little too many loop arounds, too many options. It's a little bad. So they limit it to say, no, real names just work as other identities. And that was how it worked even before Silver Age did all this.
Because I have the Blue Beetle card pulled up and I don't see Jamie Reyes anywhere listed here.
Yeah, it's on there. Look at below, under 5 points.
Oh, real name. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they have a real name section. They don't have it listed as an other identity.
Gotcha.
So just keep in mind, if the ID card has a real name, you can only play figures that have that name.
Gotcha.
Real names on figure cards mean nothing. Nothing at all.
Midnight was such a cool figure.
That's random.
He's the only figure that pulls up when you type that in. Yeah. You give your whole team stealth. All right.
Thank you, Gristor. He said one of them is misspelled Jame and Jamie. I was wondering. I clicked Jamie Reyes on the. You could click the real name, and it didn't pull up Scarab, and I was really confused because I know they're the same. So yes, real names on ID cards have to match the big name on the card, not the real name, the big name on the card. Very simple. That's it. So that means you can't use Hank Pym to call in Ultron Pym. That doesn't work. Because Ultron Pym is Hank Pym. But that doesn't matter. Because that is Ultron Pym's real name. We don't care about real names. So, alright. So, we're kicking things off with Wolverine. Days of Future Past Wolverine. His other identities are Logan, Old Man Logan, and Colonel Logan. I don't think we've ever gotten any of those except Old Man Logan.
I remember Old Man Logan being good.
He was pretty good. He had this thing where he could, if you get across the map or something, you get an extra turn.
Yeah, but he was just like, I pull him up here. Charge blades. Once per game of a friendly character that can use this trait. Adjacent friendly characters with less points have combat reflexes. Okay.
So, looking at all the Wolverines, it's basically all the same thing. It's just picking your flavor of, do you want precision strike, do you want to stop click, or do you want flurry? Like that's kind of they all basically do the same thing.
Sure.
They all have little nuances that are a little different, but most of them are charge blades. Some of them are better than others. So at 100 points or higher, you don't actually have a lot of options. There's not a ton. Oops, I did not type in Wolverine. There's not a ton of Wolverines over 100 points.
Ones that are hit hard.
Yeah, by far the best one in my opinion is the Empire 100 Wolverine. At 100 points, you get Flurry, Charge, 12 for 4, Exploit. He's not gonna die. There might be better options at 100 points, period. But as far as Wolverines go, I think he's just better than the other Wolverine, the 053, which we'll talk about in a second, Xavier School one. Just because this one has Flurry the whole dial and Exploit. Exploit is just so big now. You know, Wolverine wasn't as good as a call-in when he had it. Well, you couldn't use Flurry and Exploit before. So
Yeah.
now that you can, it's like, okay, all right. These are a lot
It
better.
also kind of depends, right? If you're playing an X-Men team, you probably want the other one.
Right. Yeah, and I added that caveat. We're doing best in slot for most teams. Certain teams might like better ones. You're not playing a 100-point Wolverine that often, I don't feel like. But I feel like it's the Empire one for me that's just the best in that. As far as 50 to 99, and I'm kind of just going through Wolverine real quick, and then we'll work together kind of on the others. I did 50 to 99. I think that's obvious that it's going to be the Xavier School one.
There's so many freaking Wolverines.
Yep. And Jason Labadera said it's weird you have to use the male Captain Marvel card to call in the female Captain Marvel because her card is Miss Marvel. Yes, that is true.
Yeah. At least she still works.
And there are Miss Marvels out there. It's just Kamala, not the actual Captain Marvel. And it just missed the cutoff too. There is a Miss Marvel that's Carol in Civil War, but Civil War is the first set cut off, the last set of old cards. So you would have had your wish. But yeah, there's just so many Wolverines out there, and a lot of them just do the same thing. Like they don't bring a lot to the table. Like for me, it's between two.
Yeah.
And it's the Empire one and it's the Xavier School one. Empire just because he hits so hard. Like Flurry, stealth too if you need some sort of protection. But if you need a charged Flurry piece, I feel like that has good value. At 100, I have the 053 super rare Wolverine at 50 because obviously that's really good because you're probably calling him in their starting, closer to their starting area, so he would have Flurry. The perplex, the leadership, all of that stuff is kind of the leadership doesn't really matter, but you know what I mean. Sidestep to be able to get away. I mean, all of that's pretty big. So Tyler's volume's a little low. Here, I'll boost him up. Boop, 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 boop. All right, say something now, Tyler.
Test.
All right, you should be a little louder now.
Yeah, that was probably. I mean, you have the 60.1 that's just 11 for 3 too with charge flurry. But it doesn't have the perplex or the sidestep, I guess. It does have exploit if you need that.
What
the
about
Avengers Empire one?
60 point? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be a toss-up between those two, which one you use.
Yeah, I don't think you could go wrong with either. I think it's really just, do you feel like you need more exploit or not? Is there a time where you ever want to play Caveman Wolverine?
I thought about it. I don't think so. It's just like, you're really calling him out for their offensive stuff. And he doesn't have flurry, if I remember right.
No, he doesn't. Just charge blades for 4.
Yeah. Well, he's 12 for 4 though, right?
Yes, 12 for 4.
Maybe if you need the attack. No, because the other one has perplex. He can just perplex his own attack. So probably not. I don't think he makes a sideline. It'll be too tight.
Gristor said there's something to be said for deep cuts Wolverine with charge, flurry, precision, 11 for 4. Let me look at deep cuts.
Yeah, I saw him, but it's just the other one's 12 for 4. That one has precision strike if you need it.
Yeah.
But having the 12 over the 11 is probably a big deal.
Yeah, I would say if this one's fine if you're going to reliably be able to get away and to pop him out. Or if you're playing the wanted poster, because obviously the wanted poster ones can't die. So I would say this would be fine too. because obviously this is a better option if you're going against maggots or something, you know. Better than the exploit.
Just for the precision strike.
So I mean, yeah, that one could be on the list as well. I wouldn't feel bad about putting him in the first slot. And then putting Empire Wolverine down at the 0 to 49.
Yeah, that has to be the best.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone beats that for 30 points. Right, you get charge flurry 10 for 3 exploit.
Yeah.
Blades exploit.
Yeah, it's good. It's low attack, but you know that's okay for 30 points. You can't ask.
Right. Yeah.
Can't ask for much.
Mangog can call this guy out.
Yep, that's true.
Oh, that sounds fun.
All right, so I moved deep cuts up because I moved Empire down to the 0 to 49.
Tri-Sentinel can call this guy out.
But I don't think there's anything that, like, these three are probably the best Wolverines that you could call in. Period. It doesn't really matter.
And they're good because you can you don't have to pick a point value now, and they all like this at least the Empire one and the other one both have multiple point lines.
Yeah, that's why I like the Empire one so much, because I play I play the Avengers switch out, but for IDs too, having 3 options. Now you have to choose at the beginning of the game which one you're choosing, so it's not like during the game you're just like, oh, my 100-point figure died, I'm switching them to 30 now. I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure the ID says pick a starting line.
Oh, if the ID says it, then you would have to.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident it does. Let me pull it up. All the Days of Future Past ones aren't on here. I do that. When you reveal forces, choose a character in your sideline whose name matches that and turn it to a starting line. So it is when you reveal forces.
Okay.
Which makes sense. That'd be a little crazy if you could just pick whoever, whatever. All right, so Kate Pride. This one has a surprising amount because you have Kate Pride, you have other identities, Kitty Pride, Shadowcat, Ariel, and Sprite.
Kate Pride?
Kate Pride.
Oh,
Days of Future Past. Yes. Let me type these in. I'm trying to
is Lockheed at the beginning of the game? It is.
Yes.
She doesn't get it.
Yeah, wait, did you say she does or doesn't?
She does not, because it says at the beginning of the game. It doesn't say when this character begins the game, right?
Which one are you talking about?
The House of X taxi? The Generation Lockheed?
Don't forget there is the Regenesis one. That used to be a call-in for a hot second.
Yeah, true. I was just talking this one, because I like this one.
Gotcha.
But she would not get her thing. We just said.
Yeah, the other Lockheed's not as nearly as good, but right, she would not get it. So the problem is it's a little hard to look up these names.
Yeah. Kate Pride, there's only the one, and I think she's good enough to be considered for sure.
Well, don't forget when you call in. So once again with the call-ins, hold on, let me pull up a card. I have them all next to me. I should just get them out. ID characters can't be carried, be equipped, be given double power actions, replaced, or be replaced. ID characters can be KO'd. I don't think they can. They can't carry someone further than 5 squares.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I don't think Kate Pride is worth it, because if you're just calling in to move like 11, move like 10 for 3.
She's 10 for 3. She has prob. She also gives people steel energy.
She does that unequipped equipment thing. It's kind of neat.
Yep, that is pretty cool. And her inspiration is what's phasing, right?
Exploit.
Oh, okay, that's good too. Right?
Yeah, this is the Days of Future Past one.
You call this out on a Blackheart team. Blackheart now has steel energy and exploit, and you have an extra prob.
Yeah,
and a sidestep carry.
That is very solid. Let me. I can't get my colors right. This is gonna bother me. Hold on.
And then we go Shadowcat.
Well, did you do Kitty Pride yet?
No. Let's do that.
But there are more kitty prides.
That's weird. Okay.
Well, Kate is when she was older, or not older, but wanted to be more mature or whatever. Hey, you know, some of these aren't bad. The shield one is meh. You wouldn't ever call it a shield. Well, it's 35 points.
Yeah, with blades.
No, you would not call in that one. No, forget it. You're not calling that one.
Cool.
50 points for the Star-Lord kitty.
I mean, it's a running shot, double energy explode. It's not bad. Does she have anything cool?
No. You're not getting that rally die off. So.
No, probably not. So probably not. Just a running shot piece. It's not bad. I mean, 11 for 3.
Yeah.
Deep cuts, probably not. It's 11 for 3 again for 35 points. That one's actually not bad.
I forgot about these other ones.
Yeah, I don't mind the deep cuts one.
That's yeah.
For a 35 point call in.
So I think clearly, I don't know, getting a free Lockheed. I feel like that's just better.
Isn't it a power action for the Lockheed?
It's
or
free.
No?
Free. Once per game, generate a Lockheed.
Oh, it just doesn't get the autonomous.
Right. That's only if you have the card. Yeah, team up card. Which is okay though. The Lockheed's pretty okay. Energy explosion. She's got enhancement. Ooh.
Why do people play this? Just for the Lockheed, I guess.
I mean, 3 point. Well, they don't play this one. I think they used to play the Sprite card.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Not the 5-point Danger Room one.
Kitty Pride.
Free Lockheed is great. I think it competes with the 35-point Eternal Sprite for Outwit Prop Precision, though. Yeah, we'll get to Sprite. Well, does this card have Sprite on it? Did we say Sprite?
I didn't.
It does. It does have Sprite on here. So yeah, I guess that would be another one we'd have to consider. I don't know if you bring any of these kitty prides in. I'd say I'm gonna write down the one from Regenesis. I think that might, for 40 points, I think that might be the only one you might consider that is an actual kitty pride.
Sure. Eternals movie Sprite though. I mean, she's not actually that great as a call-in, right? Like she has decent support powers, but normally you're calling in for attacks.
Yeah.
This Sprite though, I know people used to play her.
35 outward prob shaped. I'm looking at this one.
Yeah, me too. 5 doesn't matter. Yeah, she doesn't hold up.
I mean, this might be the best 100-point kitty pride or Sprite, because that might be all we have.
Maybe, but you're probably not playing her at that point.
Yeah, nah. And then Shadowcat. I know we have a Shadowcat.
Shadowcat. Got a couple of them.
No, we just have one. One that's legal.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And it's not great.
It's not bad.
There's no move and attack.
Oh, there is. The phasing, when she uses phasing, it moves 5 squares or less, close at no cost.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
But that's not great.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just that one Kate Pride from House of X. We said that one before, because that's the 50-point one.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a 65-point one. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. The super rare.
I don't think I even want that super rare. I think I'm just gonna go with the energy exploding one. That's more offensive. Like, I feel like that's just the one that you would play.
Probably. The Kitty Pride one's very specific. Sometimes you do want a like a Steel Energy on your black card can like I could imagine black card teams running that just because of that, because you can go from stop to top real quick
Mm-hmm.
with his free
Oh,
flurry.
she also ignores movement for blocking. I know she has flight anyway, but the Guardian's kitty, she just ignores blocking. She just move third and characters.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. Alright, I'm putting her best at 50. At 100, sure, we could just put Sprite from Eternal, because that's like the only 100-point Kate Pride other identity, but you're not calling any of those in. Like, that's just
Probably not.
This card here, I'm gonna do something different. So the Wolverine card was good, so he stays green. Kate, I'm gonna put at a yellow. It's just not as good. Does that sound fair? Like green, good. Yellow, situational.
Like
yeah, situational. Yeah. And then red is just gonna be no. Well, I can't do that because I did red for. I'll figure it out. All right, Colossus.
Colossus.
Yeah, I'm going.
What order are you doing these in?
Days of Future Past. I did those first.
Any other names?
No. He has no other names. He gives charge, which is big. That is a biggie. One of the few ones that gives out charge. So we get Colossus. Now this also could roll into the other Colossus, which grants impervious, just like the other Wolverine, that grants heal 1. So, all right. So Colossus, very much like Wolverine, is kind of all over the place.
At the beginning of the game, no. Mid-16, no. Passenger 2, given a move action after resolution, so you can make a close attack. Yeah, the super rare is not great.
The rare, it's a rare.
Oh, okay. Like his big thing is you get to move and attack really far, but he is limited by that. So it's really just 11 for 4 charge, which isn't bad, but I would guess there's probably better call-ins than that. He's hard to kill for what it's worth. The Whiskas one does basically the same thing. X and Rise and Fall does is basically the same thing. That one has Empower.
Under 50, I assume you're talking about, Grisor is talking about under 50 has to be the prime at 25. Right. Yeah. The call-in one. Thank you. That saves our problem there is, yeah, it's going to be the call-in.
Almost certainly. Every Colossus I look at, just charge 11 for 4, charge 11 for 4, charge 11 for 4.
The deep cuts does something interesting at 125.
Does he?
The knockback when Colossus knocks back a character, you can choose direction knockback, and his knockback path isn't stopped by walls. Immediately after resolutions, destroy any walls that knockback path passed through and deal the character 1 pen.
That's something.
That's very situational, but it sets him apart from the other ones.
But yeah, and the Colossal, the Prime is just probably the best in general. Like, I'd probably rather call him out at all his point lines. Maybe not 100. 100 is 10 for 3, but the 151 is 10 for 4, or 11 for 4, which is basically as good as you're going to get with the Colossus.
Yeah. I think 50 to 99, you could maybe make a case for the XDPS super rare in the event that you want to protect. Like, you could call in, I mean, I guess you could call in Colossus with the impervious version, and that defeats the purpose of giving everyone adjacent invulnerability. Because everyone adjacent already gets impervious from the inspiration from the other Colossus. The super rare one that grants invulnerability to everyone that's adjacent.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, actually.
It's not, because if you're using you get
impervious.
Yeah, so it's like whoopoo. But if you're doing the charge one, probably still not great, because the characters are just going to charge away. So they're not going to have invulnerable. So yeah, I think I'm going to put I'm gonna make us like an honorable mention for the deep cuts one, because there might be, you know, a bunch of barriers and it's walls. This is stopped by walls. So what was the negative zone or realm of death? One of the ones that's just a ton of walls.
Both of them.
Yeah, that might be cool to be able to call them in and just knock someone back and hit them for 4, and then they also take an additional 3 or something because they go through, or 2 because they went through a wall. That's pretty good.
Which wasn't there Colossus that could do the fastball special? Was that on Colossus somewhere?
That was a team up card.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, House of X team up card. Listed friendly characters can use TK, but only to place an adjacent Wolverine. Jalen says, if you say hi, I can't hear you because I'm at a bar very loud, so I'm just going to lurk. And then Grystor said, DXF Colossus might be good at 80, 12 for 5, and it's a wanted poster, so survivability isn't an issue. At 80.
Deadpool and X-Force?
Oh, that is true.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's the change to close combat expert.
What's his charge? Charge and improved movement, ignores blocking train. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely would put. Thank you for the suggestion. I forget Deadpool's legal.
I only looked at him at top dial. I didn't even look at his lower.
All right, we'll definitely put him at 50 to 99.
Yeah, 12 for 5 is pretty good.
Come on. Every time I copy from Realms, it makes it white. And then I'm just gonna copy the Prime and put that in best at 100 plus because none of these are great. All right, let's keep it rolling. Rachel Summers. All right, so obviously we could just get the one out of the way. Under 50 points is obviously Colossal Phoenix. Like that's 20-point piece that you're calling in to either TK or deal 1 damage to 3 people, or call in for poison and plenty of stuff. Like 25 points, that's just ridiculous. Like that's a great call in. So
probably got to be the best.
Yeah, by far the best in that range, but definitely not necessarily the rest. Maybe the best for the rest of them. Let me look at what are the other point lines. 175, probably the best for that too.
175, you said?
Yeah, I mean we're saying 100 plus, unless there's a Rachel Summers that is better.
Yeah, I mean Phoenix. I mean
we got Marvel Girl and Rachel Summers are the other names. So let me type in Marvel Girl just real quick to see if there's anything. That one at 50 is mad. The one at 30, the one at 30 is okay, but probably not. Fast Forces has Krakoan Revival. Meh. 80 points is kind of meh also.
Actually, what is the best Krakoan Revival you can call in?
Right now it looks like Marvel Girl.
Yeah. How many points was she?
There's an 80.1. We have an Emma ID card. So that potential there too. Who else?
That's definitely. I mean, calling that in for a turn if you know you're going to get like Alpha Struck. Like I'm thinking on my animal team, if I can call it a Krakoan Revival for a turn, if I'm going to get alpha'd, like you can't kill my maggots now. You know that Sky Timer coming across.
Yeah.
That is very exciting.
There's not really. Okay, so 75-point Rachel Summers, the deep cuts.
Yeah, I mean she's a running shot piece.
The immobile thing is fine. I wish she did something else besides just the immobile.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. What does she give? She gives running shot. Oh, that's pretty big.
Where's this Krakoan Revival one? What was it called?
House of X. Marvel Girl. You have to look up Marvel Girl. Yeah.
Oh, okay, she's 75 and 50. Okay.
There was an 80.1 also. Oh, that's Rachel Gray.
That was her Krakoan revival.
But never mind.
She's really not good as a figure if you call her in, but.
Oh no, there is a Krakoan revival when it's main set number 20.
X-Men House of X number 20. Oh, okay, 80 points. Gotcha. That was a little better offensively for sure.
A little bit. Outwit, when a friendly character with X-Men is targeted by Outwit, that won't matter. But she has Krakoan revival, so she could call in other, or keep others around. But then she'll just die. Right? Well, this is the Days of Future Past one, so she won't die.
Yeah.
That's very situational though. Like that's very, very X-Men only.
I agree with that. I'm telling you right now, if I was playing tomorrow, I'd put this on my animal team though.
For the running shot?
No, for the my maggots can't die for one turn.
Oh.
That seems very good to me.
This version, the 80-point one?
No, I'd have to play the 51, right? And then only Spider-Man would call her out, so I'm missing an attacker there. But
you couldn't do the 51.
Why?
Maggots are 50, right? Or are they 40?
Maggots are 40.
Oh, then yeah, you could. In my head, I was thinking they were only that. All right, so we could say this 51. This 51.
It's at least yellow.
Well, I'm not doing each one. I'm doing the ID card as general. How does the ID card hold up?
Sure.
I think it's just going to be kind of similar to Colossus.
What's the inspiration on this one?
Running shot. So
that's pretty good.
That's the inspiration is good.
Yeah.
These other ones aren't. Like the actual color. The Phoenix is. Don't get me wrong. If you're playing this card 100%, you are probably only playing the 25-point Phoenix. Like, unless you're situational like Tyler's talking about with the maggots.
I think calling Krakoan Revival is great. No?
Well, that's what I mean by situational. Like, it's not for every team, obviously. But yeah, I think it is good. I just think on this one, there's a clear winner. Like, I think it's just that the Colossal Phoenix at 25 points.
Yeah, it's obviously very, very good. Any call in retail is good. That one that one's not like Dark Phoenix, so you can't really attack with it, except for other Colossals, which could very well be relevant. But
you can poison though.
Yep, you can poison. And it doesn't have Colossal, or it does have Colossal Indifference, so but you could do it after a retail if they're running multiple retails or something like that. There's also just Colossal figures out there.
And you would probably also bring her in because she's a Colossal, so more people to give running shot to. And then you also have a TK from her. So
yeah, and I don't think running shot breaks anybody, but it'll definitely help a lot of people for sure.
Yeah. If you can find some good autonomous pogs or something that would like a running shot and just give all of them running shot.
Yeah.
And then TK the one that you want away, so that way she poofs. I don't know if you really need to. Is it if they take any damage? Those cards go away? Let me look. When they hit, they immediately return to the sideline. So they wouldn't score it no matter what, even though she's 1 point. Or sorry, 1 click long. So, all right, we're only through 4 cards, so I'm gonna speed this up. Storm. All right, so this
the Prime
Storm
comes to mind.
Yeah, this Storm gives energy explosion, which used to be a bad inspiration. Now it's a fairly solid one, especially at Pensai.
My guess is that Thanos is going to like this card a lot.
She has no other identities.
Okay. Well, you got a lot of Pulse Wave, right? Running shot Pulse Wave pieces.
Her other, I will say, her other inspiration, and I guess I'll note that later, is 3 targets. So.
Okay.
Which is big for some people.
It's big for Thanos.
Yep, big for Thanos.
Thanos likes this card a lot. Super sensitive. So all of hers are pretty solid, right? Like just looking through the Marvel ones, you can't use the 17 anymore, right?
Yeah, the 17 I think has. I don't remember if that 17 had a new card or not.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'll Google it.
It has to. I'm almost positive.
It does. It does have a new card.
Okay. So you have the running shot, 11 for 4. Pulse wave, if you need a pulse wave card. That one's probably not good. The other one's 12 for 3, and it gives you stealth. The 013 one.
I think in my opinion, the 50 to 99 range, I think you still go with the 19.
Asgard.
Yeah, the Asgard one, because you get the option of energy explosion or pulse wave.
Right, and it's just 11 for 4.
Right, so I think that's just in general good. So I'm going to just go ahead and mark her down from the 50 to 99 range.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any more niche ones that don't just isn't just like an 11 for 4 attacker.
Yeah, I think the prime one is clearly the lower point one.
Yep.
Case could be made for the 35.1, but probably not.
Let me see. So the big one, the prime one, it probably has one that like a higher dial that he could call. Oh yeah, the 150 point. That's really good to call in. Pulse wave outwit.
I think we could just. There is a Krakoan revival one, just for reference.
Ooh.
It's 85 points.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. I think it's if you're going above 100, it's probably the M17 one, because you actually have two options. You could go 100 or 150. 150 is obviously better, but I think that's your best in slot. Oh, excuse me.
Actually, I think it'd probably be the 2x2, but that's only if you have a prime slot open.
Oh,
because that one has it's basically the same, but it has outwit.
I was thinking the pulse wave one. Let me go back and look at that one.
The prime one is running shot, pulse wave, invincible, outwit, 11 for 4.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's a prime slot, so that's pretty good.
That's fine. I don't care about that. I'll put that in.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping prime slots or anything in mind. This is in general. So, all right, Magneto.
Probably a big one.
Yep. So this Magneto gives you penetrating psychic blast. Man, these are some winter inspirations. No other identities, thank goodness.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Forgot about this Empire Magneto.
Oh.
Can't call in Venom Magneto.
No. Yeah, that would be nuts if you could.
He has an okay high dial one.
I feel like the Phoenix 5 might be the dead giveaway for the top 100 and above, so I'm just mentally putting that in for now.
Just sucks he's only at 10 attack. I think.
Or does the 175? See, 100 and above's tricky because it's like 175. Who's really calling that in? Like
Thanos.
Well, besides
that. Goblin King.
All right, fine.
There's some other ones in silver. Yeah, that one's good. He should be at 12 for 5, right? Because it's really easy to give him the +1s. Modifies combat with +1 if using the 4 squares of a debris marker. And can't he make those for free or something?
Good gravy, Magneto's ridiculous. There's so many.
Yeah.
Like you've got the ones from House of Exos, and keep in mind, guys, you could choose any starting line. So this is beneficial. Like that gives ones with multiple starting lines a benefit to others. So the House of X one, 150
Revival.
Yeah, 150, 25, and 90, all pretty solid. Triple target energy explosion, like.
Yep. He ignores characters too, right?
Yeah, for targeting purposes. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like. Same with like the 25.1. Now you probably call in the other 25.1.
They're all of those point values start with the retail too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I might put this one in the middle slot. 50 to 99 for now. I'm just gonna note it for now. You've got the deep cuts one, meh. You've got Danger Room, 13 for 5, but you only do 1, so meh. Danger Room Magneto is just better for the long haul as opposed to a call-in. And then you've got the 2x2. The 2x2
is good.
Pretty solid at 200 points, but you're never calling in at 200.
Probably not. I don't know anybody. Well, maybe like a full point goblin, maybe. I'm not sure.
25 point might have a spot, just being able to move things.
Yeah, the placement is very powerful, right?
Yeah, like good for like a Venom Wolverine who's got you tied up, and you just boop in and just be like, okay, you're going right here, now we're moving away. Like, that's got a spot, so I'm going to probably temporarily put that in the lesser spot, because I like that 25 point more than the House of X one.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I think they're pretty even. The House of X is a better attacker by a lot, and he has the retail.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, the 2x2 does too.
Oh, yeah. That's true. All right.
It's just a better retail, I think, on the other one, because it's make a range attack. No, you wouldn't get energy explosion with that.
No, they're pretty similar. He has the improved targeting. That helps a lot.
Yeah. That's why I'm putting him at 50, and then I'll put... I think I'm just going to put Phoenix Force 1 up at the top. Maybe? No, you can only call him that 1.
I think this 175 one is good, and probably the Krakoan Revival one at 150, right? Running shot 12 for 4, triple target, improved targeting.
What's that? House of X?
Just the House of X one.
I'm gonna put the Phoenix Force one in, but I think all 3 of these are kind of your creme de la creme of Magnetos. Like, you're going with one of these 3, which is Phoenix Force, maybe Legacy, but probably Phoenix Force, or the 2 House of X, or the X DPS 2x2 Magneto.
Sure.
All right. We are done with the Days of Future Past ones.
Cool. All right.
I think.
Just, hey, Alex, I gotta step away.
Are you gonna go play your game now?
I do.
Wow! Thanks for dropping in for a second and then bailing.
You're welcome. I'm very excited about calling Krakoan Revival Row. That's cool.
All right. Cool.
All right. See ya.
See ya. All right. So we're done with Days of Future Past. If I were to rate all of these as we've gotten them, I think all of their inspirations outside of Wolverine's are solid. Wolverine's is kind of very situational. Like, you don't need Blade's Claws for everything. Ooh, I'm not going to do that. That's kind of gross looking. So very situational. Come on, let me get the right color. As the overall ID, the figures that you're calling in, Kate Pride is super meh. Like, just super meh in general. Colossus, I'm going to actually put as... in here, I'm just going to make these the same color. Oh, no, I'm not. It's the same color. Colossus, I'm also going to put in that same category. Very meh. Oh, if I can pick the right color. Alright. Marvel Girl's fine. I like the Phoenix, I like the Storm, I like the Magneto. So I'm keeping all of them. They're all fine. Alright, now we're moving on into our Marvel IDs. Our Marvel ID. Well, that was Marvel, but our back in the original way ones. So we've got Scott Lang. Whoopsie. All right. We've got Scott Lang as another identity. His inspiration is maybe given a free, so that should be free. This character has the tiny damage symbol until your next turn. Free tiny symbol until next turn. Boop, boop, boop. What do you guys think for Ant-Man? I'm just checking messages real quick. Okay. All right, so we got access to Scott Lang. There's no Scott Langs. They're all Ant-Mans. So let's look at Ant-Man. Maybe. Let's see. So you can't call him Giant Man anymore with Ant-Man. Got Future Foundation at 75. That's super meh. This one for 30 points might be the best at under 30 points. I don't know why you'd call him in, but maybe. 80 points. Can use Perplex when he does if he targets opposing character. That character blah 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 doesn't do anything. What about this Ant-Man? That's the one I just looked at. Wow, we are very limited. We've got 3 Ant-Mans. We've got 3. All right, well, obviously this one's the best from... This one's easy, because 0 to 49, this is really the only one that you could play. Don't think you would. This one is obviously the best over. And then we don't have one for... This, so we will put an A. An A. All 3 are bad if you're using them. It's for the inspiration. Yeah, 100%. The inspiration, though, making someone tiny, is very meh in my book. So I am putting this as a yellow. Very, very situational. All of these, I'm just going to put in, like, bad. Like, even Sprite and Kitty Pryde had its uses. Colossus has its uses. These 2 Ant-Men, you're not ever using these Ant-Men. There's no reason to use those. Ooh. Ares. So we've got access to 2 Ares this time. Very clear this one is the one that's over, or wait, this one's over 100 too. So this one's 12 for 4. This one's 12 Quake Exploit. I'm gonna say this one's probably better. 12 for 4 Mystics. It has this lower charge. The inspiration lets you get around Colossal Indifference, which would be great with Asserter, but yeah, you'd be stuck with those Ant-Men then. Like, if I've got a limited space and limited ID cards, I don't know if I care enough to do that to get around it. I get it, though. That's neat. That's why it's yellow for situational. I mean, this one has flight, this one doesn't. 12 for 4, doesn't have exploit or anything. This one does have exploit, but is an 11. I think it's negligible, but I think I'm going to put this one in for best over 100. Then we will put an A for the rest of them. Oh my goodness, I keep putting the wrong one. Come on. What was his inspiration? It was like damage or something, right? Oh, can you steal energy? Oh. That one's kind of situational too. Real name Ares. Nice. I'm gonna put that in here. This one I'm also gonna put as I'm gonna put this one as bad, actually. I just don't see a time that you really want to call that steal energy in. No, it's situational. We'll say it's situational. But the call-in isn't any good. There are much better options at that point value than Ares. Daredevil. Let's look at his card real quick. Man, we might have to do 2 sessions to get through all these. I thought I was going to go a lot faster. Real name Matt Murdock. No, we don't have any Matt Murdocks. Can use leap climb. So it's leap climb and improve targeting hindering. Because the movement doesn't matter. If you're using your 125 point character to get steal energy, you can't steal energy with him. That's fair. Yeah, I'm willing to move that down. That's a good point. Well, unless you're like... Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. Leap climb, improve movement, hindering is okay. Like the hindering thing might be good for someone like Gladiator or something like that. Let's see how we're looking at Daredevils. We've got a ton in ADW. So, let's see. This Daredevil, it's meh. This Daredevil is neat, but meh. Or the Realms. Too much, I think, too many points, I think. The giving everyone super senses might be something. So I'm going to put him on the list. At least put him on the list. Because that might be something good for like a Sky Tyrant attack or something. You bring him in, give everyone... I mean, you're probably just giving everyone something else, so with an inspiration. So that might be pointless. You could call in this Daredevil. That's okay. Oh, I skipped over. This Daredevil would be great as a 25 point call-in. Like, definitely best lower call-in is for this. So that'd be good if you're playing with Gladiator, he's carrying someone up that's 25 points. Call in somebody. Or call in Daredevil, give Gladiator the improved targeting, hindering, and then Daredevil can shoot, triple target in cap. He gives you another prob, or he could be up close to Flurry. That's solid for 25 points. Let's look at some of these others. 40 point, no. These are all the okay ones. 50 point, no. Can't use those. Daredevil can use Charge, Flurry, Stealth. Okay. Let me think about that one for a second. Ooh. Did we have any more of the hand recently? No, right? We've got Silver Samurai, we've got Psylocke, Tombstone, Mandarin, okay. This Daredevil ain't bad for 80 points. Just being able to bring in a hand ninja, that's not terrible. You probably want something more with 80 points, though. I don't know. Is there a world where you want to call in the this peanut Daredevil? Hypersonic in? I don't think that's not good enough for 60 points. Yeah, Daredevil's kind of lackluster. Like this one, World's Finest is probably the best over 100. So I'm fine with putting them in like I have them. 150 points, or that's 75 points, that's 25 points. Peanut Daredevil doesn't get his 6 tokens at the beginning of the game. When placing characters during game setups, choose the starting line for Daredevil and give him. Yeah, you're right. So no, that's a bad choice. Alright, so that's meh. These characters are meh, just in general. Sorry, Daredevil fans. Oopsie. Sorry, Daredevil fans. This is just, I keep doing the same thing. This is just meh. The best one is 25-point Daredevil, but he does not make up for the other two. So. Doctor Strange. All right, this one, I'm hoping is good. Can use props. A prop when targeting opposing character. So prop one. I wish there was a way to make it smaller, but it will. And then Stephen Strange. We don't have any Stephen Stranges. I'll get excited there. So that prop is good. We'll go ahead and put Stephen Strange though. The prop is good. Like that's big. Like I would put that in green. Like that's a legit that's a legit inspiration. Being able to pop them in and say, all right, everyone around here when targeting someone they get a prop. I feel like that's pretty good. Or is that situational? Because they only get it for their attack. Change my mind. Change my mind. It's yellow now. Alright, let's look at our Doctor Stranges. We'll look at both. Alright. Okay, so Recruiter Doctor Strange obviously is the best 50-point. You can't convince me otherwise. It's very situational, I understand that, but for now, he's definitely the best 50-point version. Just because you're able to bring him in and recruit, I think. Though, I don't think you can, because they have to be on the sideline for a reason, and a call-in, that's a gray area. He may not work with Recruiter, but... I'll have to get back to you on that. 75 points. I'm not a fan of this one. This one for 75. More of a fan, but still don't want to play them. Now, I remember these 50-point ones used to be good. Is that still true? I mean, I guess maybe this one. But 11 for 2 is not great. You could have another sideline slot devoted to recruiting, and you probably already have Wendigos there for main force range if you're doing that plan, so calling as backup. Yeah, that would be very, very situational, though. Like, you would have to have a main force strange to do that. I had higher hopes for Strange. Like, this one actually is probably the best call-in from 50 to 99 over the 50-point one. The 50-point one, I think, is it is situational. If you're running a recruiter team, then yes, that's probably your best pick. Is there a Strange under 50 points? Yeah, this one's not any good because he won't get the soul gem. So, I don't like that. No, we don't have a Strange under 50 points. That doesn't count. Oh, wait, Doctor Strange. Let me look up Doctor Strange. No. Alright. So, just the one. Little underwhelming. For sure thought we would have more. This one's solid, but I'm gonna put it in a yellow. Very situational. And here, I'll even put in the recruiter one. I know that's in the best, but that's okay. The power enhancement plus 1 attack. Yeah, but if I'm spending 50 points for that, 11 for 2 damage and power enhancement and plus 1 attack. I feel like I'd rather spend 50 points for something else. But you might be right. Here's what I'll do. I'll do honorable mention category. We'll put recruiter over there. Oh, don't do that. All right. Let's keep it moving because we've, man, been at it for over an hour. Has it really been over an hour? Man. Well, while I'm looking at Captain Marvel, don't forget, guys, follow me on Twitch if you aren't already. Please. That'd be amazing. If you're watching us on YouTube, head over to Twitch. Feel free to follow me on Kuzinator. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right. Make sure, let me look at weather real quick. What's the storm here soon, so. Ooh, still pretty nasty out there, but it is not here yet, so. Alright. Captain Marvel. Power Cosmic, that's a big one. Does he have another name? Marvel. Alright, so Power Cosmic, I'll put Cosmic Energy. Same thing. So that's clearly a good one. Clearly a good one. And here, this is probably bothering people. There. Alright, so let's look at Captain Marvel's first. So it should be pretty straightforward. Actually, let's look at Marvel first. There's only one. There is actually one. I could spend a lot of time on IT discussions. Hey, that's fine. So there's only one Marvel. He's pretty solid. Choose an opposing character within range. Opposing character can't use super senses or shape change. And then you got 11 for 4. Cosmic Energy and Shield. 75 points. None of this is the same thing for that. That's actually really solid at 75 points. I'm actually going to put him in here. That's actually pretty solid. 75 points to say you can't use super sense or shape change during my attack, and I get to shoot you 11 for 3, and he has shield for everybody else. Yeah, that's real good. Now let's check out Captain Marvel. Now we know we've got the one from this one down here, the super rare that everyone loves. So let's look at all the rest of them first. 100 points, 12 for 4, recruiter, but for Kree. No one cares about Kree. 12 for 4 for 50 points. I'll note that one. 50 point is pretty solid. 130 point Pensai energy explosion. Only one target is kind of a bummer. Otherwise fairly solid. Yeah, these are okay. But I feel like Free Chewy, man. Free Chewy's just gonna... And the chase from CCM. Yeah, I feel like this one is the clear-cut 100 point and above. You're just gonna call this one in. 95, it could be an honorable mention for this slot, just to get the Free Chewy. Like, just calling her in for the Free Chewy is one thing. Everything else is icing on the cake. Then you've got that one that's okay, that one that meh. It's one at 150. I know you're saying the chase. But she could run a shot and then she can use charge for a different character. Is there a Captain Marvel under 50 points? There is. There's a 45.1. Charges to poofer. Or just charges to attack. Alright, there's a 45.1. No, she would not get the reality gem. Anybody asking? Is there anyone else in 45-point range? I don't think so, right? That's the only one under 50. Fix the sound. Can't hear you? Maybe I was talking too quiet. Can you hear me now? Is it good? Was I talking too quietly? I started mumbling for a little bit, so. Well, crap. Which one was it? Oh, what about this Captain Marvel? Once per game, when he would be KO'd, instead give him 3 resurrection, place him on his card. Nah. I forgot about this Captain Marvel existing, actually. You still can't hear me? Can anybody else hear me? Jamie's the one that's saying he can't hear me. What about on YouTube? Anybody on YouTube? I'm gonna pop into YouTube on my phone. Just to see if I can hear myself real quick. I've been talking this whole time. I hope no one's watching me on YouTube. Jackson Spade says he can hear me. Or Jackson Smith, but I don't know which Jackson you are. Let me check. Yep, I can hear it. So Jamie, it's on your end, buddy. Maybe you've got the tab and Chrome muted or something. But it's a rolling on my end, so. Alright, where was the stupid 45.1? There he is, or she is. That's the one. Don't think you'll ever call this one in, but maybe she can hypersonic away. That's cool. So the rub here is with Captain Marvel, you've got the one that gives you Chewie, and then you got the one that can shoot and go away. I think this one is just better. Like, I think just the Chewie one is better, period. I don't think you ever bring in the Chase at 150, because you just bring in the other Marvel at 150. Because she can hypersonic. So you can hypersonic through somebody, hit them, and then hypersonic away. I think that's just better. I think all of these two are solid. So I think in general, it's solid. I have no complaints about these. Yeah, Chewie and free pen damage. Yeah, it's just anytime you get a Pog that's super solid and you can attack and get off the board, like that's just gonna be great. All right, we're gonna chew through some of these real fast because there's not much to talk about with them. Namor, his ID gives you transport dolphin symbol and modify combat values +1 when occupying water terrain. So this one is interesting because dolphin symbol's super good, right? It's still situational. You got to be on the right map. But I like that his real name is Namor McKenzie. Side note. Out of all of these, though, we don't have many. That one's 75. That's all right. Oh, we've gotten more Namor than I thought. Charge Flurry. Choose not to have a speed. That doesn't matter if you're calling him in. Charge Flurry, but only if he has a time gem equipped, so he's out. He won't have it equipped. Charge Flurry. Battle Fury. 130 points, though. 75, wrong one. 80 points, charge Flurry again. So he's a big charging Flurrying guy. Like, that's a super solid combo, by the way. Like, you plop him out, he gets everyone around him. Like, you're in water, right? You're in water. You call him in. He gives everyone dolphin symbol. Then his trait says friendly characters with dolphin symbol who share a keyword modify attack +1 if making a close attack while occupying water. So if you play him like a Molecule Man team, legacy card at 150, bring in a 50-point standard dolphin character into the game. I don't know if you could do that because it's from your sideline. And so it's kind of the rule with Recruiter Strange. You can't have something on your sideline for a sideline figure. At least I think that's what it's for, or what it means. So you can't have anyone on your sideline devoted for this trait because he's already on your sideline. I kind of like this combo that I was just talking about with this one. Like, even at 50 points. Oh, he generates water? Dude, this chase is awesome to call in. You put it on for an effect that could potentially bring it into the game, but I don't know if you could bring in Shifty Focus for a swap out team. I guess you can. I'd have to double check that. I'm not sure. I know with the recruiter thing, I don't think that works without playing a main board recruiter. But I'd have to look into that. This Namor combo, I'm actually kind of digging. If you're going against, if you've got a team, it's generate. I get that, but the mechanic is on the board, is on your sideline for a reason. Like, if it was just generate from outside the game, like generate something with a dolphin symbol or something, like Shifty Focus is on your sideline for something else. Recruiter is on your sideline for something else. Namor's figures are on your sideline for Namor, who's on your sideline for an ID. So I don't know if that will work, but it might work. I haven't looked into it. I actually am now boosting this up to a green. Because with this Namor, I honestly think there's potential there. If you're going close at 50 points, then everyone gets a dolphin symbol, and then they could get +1 to attack. So they can't be shot from far away, and +1 attack when they're making a close attack because they're in water. And he generates the water. But that's solid. Is there a lower point Namor? One under 50 points. I think Regenesis. No. 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 Yeah, I'm just gonna have to look into it, John, to check and see if it works. It might work. Besides that, at 100 points, I already said no to this one. You've got options. You could choose this one because it has Battle Fury, or you could just choose the other one that has Flurry. I'll just put this one. There's some options. There's no options, though, for that one. But I will put this as a yellow. Even though I have it, I'm going to put this back down to a yellow. Very situational, but could be cool. If you got a close range team, a lot of hitters, this could be cool to call it. Put a Namor, Mackenzie. Sentry will be easy, because there's only one Sentry. Sentry gives you, can use range combat expert if you do deal one, after actions resolve, deal one unavoidable. Yeah, there's only one. That should be, and there's no Robert Reynolds out there, so only one Sentry. He could be played at 50 or 150, so that's pretty sweet. So he can go here and here. The range combat expert's pretty big. So dealing one unavoidable after actions resolved stinks though. But that could be huge for certain pogs, couldn't it? Like if you wanted to get rid of all your paparazzi. Like paparazzi, for example. Sorry, I was listening to see if it was raining. Like let's look at the paparazzi. They're 11 for 0, but you 10 for 0. You boost them up 11 for 1, but then they die afterwards. That's your way to get rid of paparazzi. So then you can bring in more paparazzi. So I think this might be pretty situational, but I might give it a green. The Colin's not great because he can't kill anything, right? 12 flurry charge. That's real good actually. It's the lower point that he's very kind of met at. It's a way to hurt yourself that's been situational but very strong effect. Yeah. So yellow for there. Not amazing call in, but the ID is pretty decent. Shang-Chi is another one that there's not a lot of. We've got one. We've only got one. This one doesn't count. This one was old card. Here, hold on a second. Time out. All right, quick timeout. I've got to help my daughter get on the potty. All right. I'm gonna take off good chat. No, don't go. This has been fun. And anybody else that's still watching, thank you for watching. We're gonna keep going through this. We might just go through the rest of these, and we'll have to do another episode where we tackle the rest of them. But this has been great. So Shang-Chi gives you precision strike and +1 attack when making close attack. I guess I just need to like shrink this down, make this bigger. So precision strike's big, like real big. Making close attack, that's okay. So I'm gonna put this in green because that is big, being able to get precision strike to everybody. The problem comes into that there's only one Shang-Chi. He is 50 points. Which isn't the worst thing. But this Shang-Chi is not very good, right? It's charge, any cap, triple target in cap, or charge. Okay, he's got flurry, charge, flurry, exploit. Okay, never mind, I take it back. He's good. This is a solid ID card. All right, well, bye, Gristor. All right. So precision strike +1 when you're making a close attack. The Shang-Chi has charge, flurry, exploit. That's super solid. Super solid ID. Great all around. Alright, this one's gonna be a big one. Spider-Man. He gives super senses. That's a biggie. That's instantly up there among IDs. By the way, anybody else wants to chat? Am I showing offline or am I online? No, I'm connected, right? Sorry, I just lost something. Let me make sure everybody's still on. And if you can hear me right now, say type something in chat for me. Anybody in chat's here? I don't know if anybody in chat's here. Looking at YouTube. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we hear you. Thank you, guys. Sorry, there we go. It's online now. Sorry, my streaming thing just showed that it was shut down for some reason. All right. Spider-Man has way too many options. Now we know Peter Parker is available, so we could bring in this Peter Parker at 35 points. So I'm going to put him out here under the 51 just so I don't forget that he is an option. He's not a great option, but he's an option. So let's go back out to Spider-Man. We've got a lot of Spider-Man. We've got this one, hypersonic free. That's okay. None of these fit. This Spider-Man, charge. Okay, that one's okay. That one's okay. You don't count. What are you doing? Alright, the prob one. I'm gonna go ahead and put the prob one on the list. Once again, so I don't forget. That is the one from War of the Realms. That's the one that has prob, gives protection against prob. But being able to do super senses and the protection from prob is pretty significant. Alright. So this one's leading the way so far. Running shot, no. Why is it giving me all these? It's because Spider-Man family, I bet. Nothing great. 25 point though. 25 point, 11 for 3 isn't anything to sneeze at. So it's not bad. 60 point, blah. 40 point, blah. No. Man, I forgot we got so many Spider-Mans. Alright, now we're getting into the good Spider-Mans, I think. Precision Strike. Trash Can Spidey's okay. You may target all adjacent opposing. That's alright. But you give your opponent a Jameson. That's not good. Can't call in any of those. Hypersonic, no. I think this one is probably your best. Bring him in, immediately switch over. So that way you could charge 12 for 3. You have Outwit or Perplex or so it'd be 13 for 4. Or 12 for 3 Exploit. He could potentially survive, yeah. So I think CAAV is the one that'll end up going into this slot. I don't think we have a 100 point Spider-Man, right? I'm gonna just type in Spider and 100 and let's see what happens. Oh, that one is 100. What If is 100 also. Spider-Man. Hypersonic. Blah. I guess you could call in the Spider-Man. Because it is Spider-Man, but with the on it. So, yeah, I'm not feeling great about any of these. Handstand Spidey, probably the best. No. It's probably this hypersonic one, 11 for 3 precision strike and in cap for free. It's probably that one. So Collins for Spidey feel a little lackluster. You have some okay options, but it's not like heavy hitters. You know what I mean? Like you're not bringing them in to rough things up. All right. Swordsman. I think we've got a couple swordsmen. His ID gives Blades Claws, but if you already can use it, you can use Flurry. It's pretty big. Pretty situational, though. He's getting the big old situational thing. There's no Jacques de Quiz or whatever. None of those. He had a good one, right? Was it this one? Yes, this 50-point swordsman is by far the best one, considering there's only 2 to choose from. And the other one is 40. Wow, easy peasy. I thought we had gotten another one, but I guess not. All of these are very situational, depending on the team. Your team really has to have Blades, Claws, Fangs to use it. It's really not that great. All right, so we already got him. We already got Colossus. This one is impervious. This one is a better. Nah, it's still blue as far as the Collins go. But like these Colossus, still the same. Professor X. All right, Professor X I know gives shape change, which is big. So that is a very, very strong. I know it used to be for Vulture. With every X of Swords item most likely giving out BFC, I think Swordsman might be good later on. I'm willing to bet most of them don't give BFC. Maybe, but I don't think they will. I think they'll do a lot of weird things. I saw one of them was like a flaming sword, right? So that one probably does like the fire token, like alchemical fire does. But you might be right. You might be right that that's what it does, and could be interesting. All right, Professor X. Rise and Fall, 40 point. Keep in mind, 25 point. No. This one is actually pretty solid. We're going Revival. Free, choose an opposing character not on starting click. The character's controller may heal that character one click. If they do until your next turn, the chosen character can't attack. If they don't, roll a d6, heal one character on one click on a friendly character that has equal or less points than the chosen character. It's interesting. So if they don't heal, you roll a d6 and maybe heal somebody else. Okay. Mind Control Stealth. When he uses Mind Control, per targeting elevated, hindering, and characters. Yeah, I mean, this one's probably the best at 75. Let me look and see if there's anybody else. 100 point, that was the worst one. Or it wasn't the worst one, but wasn't great. No. Brood X is still good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the House of X, Professor X is the best in the 50 to 99 slot. Brood X is right there, though. Do I make this as an honorable mention? And then the Brood X one? Or has Brood X just fallen off as significance? I'm gonna put Brood X as the best at 50. Some of these others, there is one Professor X at 25, just for I guess an outwit. Sorry, I didn't hit the button. That's on me. So as I was saying, Brood is fine. Brood X is fine. Mostly because when you KO somebody, he was called in mostly to take out Colossus. He's got triple target, pen psi. You can deal 3 damage, so 1 to each Colossal. And then when you killed him, you would get Brood hatchlings because they're 50 points or less. That's why he was so good, and he is the best Professor X, most likely, at 50 points. I'm going to go through a couple more pieces, and then I'm going to wrap it up because it's been almost 2 hours. So Banshee. Banshee does the, when hitting with a range attack after resolutions, give all hit characters an action token. That is okay. I don't know if I would waste an inspiration for that. That might depend on the Banshee. Let's look at the Banshees. The one for 50 points, this one, Pulse Wave, meh, no move and attack. Don't like Pulse Wave and no move and attack. This one. Rally die. Meh. Once again. Xavier School, probably your best option for 40 point. Because it does give you a 10 for 3 and a perplex. I mean, those are really your only options. 45 point. I like the perplex on this one. Then this one would be for the 75 point, and then we don't have a 100 point Banshee. That'd be an NA. I honestly don't like any of these options. So I'm going to say a no to Banshee. No to Banshee. Let's take a look at Rogue. Her ID gives Steel Energy, pretty cut and dry. Cut and dry? Is that the phrase? It's okay. I would probably put it as a yellow. What rogues do we have? We've gotten some good ones, or decent ones. That one's okay. Well, for 4. Probably want more than that. Looking through some of these guys, and I'm not. Alright, so this rogue right now is the best that I can see. 90 points, 10, 11 for 4. You can choose adjacent character standard power they can use until your next turn. You can use it and it has their printed range. That's pretty good. Is there a lower point? 50 or below 60? Yeah. Deep cuts? No. Animated? 60 point there. Genesis. Man, these are just like, hey, let's just reprint this dial. Yeah, I don't like any of these. So, I mean, this rogue up here for 150 might be the best over 100. And then this is the only one under 50, right? Sorry, I'm zooming through these just because they're all rogues, man. They're all the same. Yeah, that's the only one under 50. 40 points for just a charge, 10 for 3. Does not feel great. This House of X one, though, is pretty good. So because that one is pretty good, I'll give it a yellow. But I don't feel great about it. Oh, yeah, I don't feel great about it. All right, let's look up Psylocke. I think she gives Exploit. Aha! Called it. She gives Exploit. Exploit's good. Exploit's always good. How many Psylocks we got, though? House of X. That's pretty solid for 50 points. Oh yeah, this was the one that was dumb for a bit, right? Any other Psylocks? 45 points. Meh. Oh yeah, this Psylocke was great. The Chase Psylocke was real good because it's in cap when she uses it and hits after resolutions. Choose a standard attack or defense power the hit character can use, and that character can't use that power until your next turn. She turns off defensive powers, and she's got Perplex. She's probably your go-to call-in for Psylocke. Because all these others are kind of nothing to really write home about. This one might be the closest. Yeah, we'll say this one's the closest for 50. But there's not one that's over 70, over 100. This one's close, 90. But NA. So for these, I am also going to put them in the category of meh. They're just kind of meh. Just kind of meh. All right, we're getting to the big heavy hitters here. Big heavy hitters. So I think I'm gonna end this. Do you want me to finish this out? What do you guys say? Power through it, get through the rest of these, and then we'll get to Xavier School and the rest of the Avengers, and then the DC ones. Or do you want me to skip down and go through the DC ones real quick? I'm getting kind of tired of looking at X-Men, not gonna lie. What do you guys think? I'm not gonna be able to finish this whole list tonight. This is a big list. This is a big list. What do you guys think? Looks like there's 9 of you. Skip down. Where do you want me to skip to? Some of these are easy. Like, we've only got, like, 2 Plastic Men. Try DC and see how you feel. All right. Plastic Man. Plastic Man, I think, also gives shape change. Shape change and plasticity. That's good. His name is Patrick O'Brien. Not that matters. There's no Patrick O'Brien characters in the game. Alright, so there are very few Plastic Man. Obviously, this is by far the best call-in, the 20-point on LE one. Because there's only 2 options. I don't even think this one is... I don't even think this one's better. I mean, he's the only option at 50 and above. But you're playing the 40 or 20-point one. Because this is solid for 40 points. Speaking of solid, I'm going to put yellow for now. Actually, this one is solid. So I'm going to actually put them all as solid. Even though this is an NA. The reason I'm doing that is because 20-point and 40-point Plastic Man are just legitimate call-ins. Call him in 10 for 2. He can Quake at no cost if he uses Sleep Climb instead. You could bring in a disguised Plastic Man object. Where are those objects again? Stay in here. Nifty mailbox. Sorry, I got to check something. So I think you could bring in the mailbox and nifty mailbox. Disguise. Oh no, it's just the mailbox. Indestructible immobile. That's pretty solid. Not gonna lie, you can barricade a spot basically. I mean, they can move over it, but you can help block it, and they would get an action token each time because he would be able to bring it in. He can't jump to it or anything like that. But that's not bad. Is it only the one object? Yeah, it's just a mailbox, right? He's over... I see him over there. He's right here. I have him over there. I think it is only the mailbox, but that's okay. I thought there were tires or something. Wasn't there tires? that like over here somewhere? Tire stack? Barrel? No, those are just regular objects. All right, it's just those two. Either way, a super solid call in. I actually almost like this more than Professor X. Very situational though. All right, let's talk about Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate gives you mystics. Opposing characters can't use perplexed. That's pretty big. Pretty big. I'm gonna put this as situational. Hear me out. There's not a ton of perplex in the game right now. Like, it's there, but I feel like people are getting stat boosts from other things. Empower, enhancement, shield TA, traits. I feel like a lot of the attacks and whatnot don't necessarily come from perplexes. Outside of like a reality gem and it being copied by Scarab, and so you're double perplexing up Sky Tyrant's attack. But if you're waiting for Sky Tyrant to attack, you're not trying to get rid of his perplex, you're going to just bolster your forces so he misses you. That's why I think it's very situational. Now, I have been told multiple ways, but as of right now, I think you can call in 10-point Dr. Fate. I think. I don't like it, but it is kind of one of those skirting around the rules, or not skirting around the rules. But the reason being is because you add, technically to your sideline, Dr. Fate at 65. And then at the beginning of the game, you get to choose a starting line for the ID, and technically 10-point is the starting line. You don't have to add them to your force at 10 points, you're just playing the figure. It's really convoluted. I've had two judges tell me two opposite things. So I'm going to pretend it works for now. Still super solid at 65. This other Dr. Fate at 40 is okay. You're never calling him in. It's one of these two fates. And they're both good. If it's at 10 points, it's amazing good, because you can poop over with like a Carnage and bring it in. Like Retail and call in a Dr. Fate to then attack for 3. Lex Luthor. He grants Superman enemy, right? Aha! Look at me remembering these cards. Superman enemy's okay. Once again, very situational. Very, very situational. Man, if you could bring in President Lex Luthor. I found him the other day. I don't know where he went, but I just found him. Man, I have fond memories of playing President Lex Luthor. So you could call this one in. That'd be pointless, because no one's ever going to attack him. You do have a 10-point Lex. He is by far the best call-in at 10 points. Similar to Fate. Just an amazing call-in. Rebirth Lex. Rebirth Lex at 100 is the kind of a beefy boy. I'm fine with that in that spot. And then X-Men Animated Lex. Oh, you could bring in Lex Luthor, God of Apocalypse. I did not realize that was a thing. Did not realize you could do that. But if you're at 250 points, I don't know why you'd waste it on him. So yeah, I think it's really just 100 points, 40 points. There's not really a 50-point Lex you want to call in. This one's okay at 50. Tensai. Yeah, this one's solid. can hear the wind howling outside. So I'm gonna put this one very similar to Dr. Fate. It's because you have a 10. This one, absolutely, you have a 10-point Lex Luthor. It was amazing. Just call in. Just period. Enhancement, 11 precision strike, 4 range. Like, that's just awesome for 10 points. Inspiration, meh. Or not inspiration, it's what is it called? Is it, do they call it inspiration? Yeah, they do call it inspiration. Very meh. Very, very meh. Alright, let's finish this up for today with Captain Cold. Jason, opposing characters can't automatically break away or use improved movement. Ignores characters. Okay. That one is absolutely situational. Like, it could maybe be okay against Sky Tyrant or something. But we only have one Captain Cold at 65. That's all we got. Oh, my daughter wants in. Hold on. Okay. So there's only one Captain Cold, and this Captain Cold is just bad. Like, he doesn't do anything. Barrier, when he uses it this turn, he has free make a ranged attack regardless of range of line of fire target one character adjacent to barrier markers and give that person an action token. Like, that's okay. I don't think he wastes an ID card for that. Like, I'm more inclined to say that this is just a big old no. As is this inspiration. Just a big old no. And then Swamp Thing and Constantine, like I said before, there's none of those. The closest Constantine we have is a bunny Constantine. Funny enough, so. But yeah. So I think that's going to do it for me for today. We made some progress, guys. We have, man, opened up what I call now the ID card anthology at this point. We got through some heavy hitters. We have narrowed down some stuff. Like, this is great. like we've learned some stuff. The range combat expert Sentry, super good for super good for Pogs. Being able to call them in, get the range combat expert, that way you can kill your Pogs off and call somebody else in. That's pretty good. Not many IDs that we've gone through that have like must plays. Captain Marvel, we've never ever had a legal Swamp Thing. That is absolutely true. The last Swamp Thing I think we had was a White Lantern Swamp Thing from War Light. No, he wasn't. Was he White Lantern? No. Wasn't there a White Lantern one? Did I dream that up? I must have dreamed that. I thought there was like a White Lantern Swamp Thing at some point. Oh, yeah, White Lantern Corps. Ha! I never made it up. I was gonna say. Yeah, that was the last time. Warlight's the last time we got a Swamp Thing. But what's funny is he wouldn't even really do much right now. He would give support. That's about it. And that's okay. But if you're looking right now and you're like, okay, what ID cards do I need? You know, I just pulled a bunch of mine out today, and I don't have all of them out yet. if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I'm interested in Silver Age, but I don't want to buy all the IDs again. I sold them all off. What do I want? Remember, all the Days of Future Past ones are super solid and they're super cheap because there was a lot of them. Like, they were just handed out as candy. Like, I think my store still has a ton of them. So if you need to pick up any, the Days of Future Past ones are arguably the best because keep in mind, they also can't die because as soon as they're hit, they are removed from the map. So less of a penalty, less of a risk. Some of the ones you can skip, don't worry about Ant-Man, Ares, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Namor, Swordsman, Banshee, Rogue. All the yellow ones you see here, Wolverine has good IDs, so that's why that one I'm okay with, for sure. Blade's Claws is kind of meh. But all these other ones, Captain Marvel is good. Shang-Chi, Spider-Man will be good. And keep in mind, some of these will be prizes and the rockets and stuff. So, can you one-shot them and kill them? No, as soon as you hit them with an attack, all the Days of Future Past ones disappear. They're removed. When an opposing character hits this character, immediately return it to your sideline, and after resolutions, heal the attacking character one click. The only way, there is theoretically a way for you to kill them, and that's if you don't attack them. So if you poison them to death, you would score the points. So if you had a bunch of maggots and you're going against a 30-point Wolverine that somehow didn't get off the board, you outwit him, poison him 3 times, you would score the 30 points, plus the 5 points for the ID. But anytime he's attacked, before you even deal damage or anything, as soon as they're hit, they're gone. And then after resolutions, the person who hit him heals one. And you might think, oh no, the attacker can heal one. A lot of times that doesn't matter. And a lot of times, keep in mind, if you haven't played during the ID age, a lot of times these characters don't even stay on the board. You bring them in, and then you like sidestep the person who called them in away, and it's like almost enough to move them outside of 5, and so they would boop away from the map anyway. So something to keep in mind. But we're going to talk about this. We're going to record an episode of Click Stuff this week. I might on Thursday do another live stream, and instead of Is It a Meta, we'll just continue this because I want to finish this. I want to get kind of the ultimate guide or the ultimate list of ID characters. So yeah. Once again, thank you all for watching. It's been 2 hours. Really appreciate it. Please, please, please like and follow my Twitch page. Like and subscribe on our YouTube page. So that way you can catch all this info. This will be up on our YouTube page, obviously. As soon as this is done, I think it goes into our live feeds. But also like my Twitch page so that way you can see when I go live. I try to go live every Thursday, and this week I decided to do Tuesday and Thursday because I had a lot to talk about, a lot of Silver Age to talk about. We haven't even gotten into a lot of the figures. We mostly were talking ID characters today. So, because a lot of people are apprehensive about IDs, which is fine. Perfectly fine to be apprehensive. I like the initial idea just because there's so many IDs. It's so cool to be able to use some of these figures that just never saw the play because they're just not good enough. They're good enough to be brought in once, but maybe not good enough for anything else, to stay on the board. But keep in mind, we're going to be hyper vigilant with the ID cards. The Rock staff and myself are going to be I am part of the Rock staff, is going to be very vigilant on this to make sure if any of these IDs get a little out of hand, that we monitor it. And we haven't even played a game yet, and it was already banned. The U.S. agent, this guy, U.S. agent, and Captain America and Green Lantern because there was just general concerns. So I like it because it really differentiates Silver from Modern. Yes, that's the other thing. Yeah, Silver Age without IDs is just Modern Age with some Groots and retail. tribbles or something, you know? It doesn't add a lot. Now, obviously, that won't be the case years from now because Silver Age will just continue to grow. And Modern will just get further and further away. But yeah, I'm pumped. Yeah, hashtag nerd games. I think that's like I was just saying, that's true now because we're still kind of living in this 2 rotation and then Modern. Once we get another rotation out of the way and Silver continues to grow and Modern continues its like Modern level thing, you know, all the sets, I think it'll be different. Because we haven't even talked about equipment. I could probably do a whole live stream just talking about how good some of this equipment is now. Like, arguably one of the strongest equipments in the game now is back because of new rules. Shoot, where's TMT? There it is. Like, Enchanted Crowbar. Enchanted Crowbar is way better than it was before. So, anyway, I am logging off here. Thank you guys once again. Follow me on Twitch if you don't already. Tell your friends to follow me. I need to get up to a certain amount so I could be a whatever friend, affiliate, good guy. I don't know what they call people. But I will hopefully see you guys on Thursday. Thank you for watching, and we will finish this ID card thing up. We'll get through a lot more of it on Thursday. So until next time, see ya.